Now, think about that. What I just said makes all the sense in that the first thing you're doing is you're making them aware of you. They don't know you exist. So you don't want to go for a real hard-hitting approach. You want to give them information to make them aware. So the key is education. We call that social nurturing at the front end. Awareness moves then to interest. Interest is where marketing kicks in. And again, it's education. And the goal of interest is to, again, they're aware of you now. They sort of are curious, like what you do. They may not need you yet. And so you're still in a marketing realm. And here's what we have found. This is a critical rule you might want to write down. Interest is the counterfeit of need. What that means is, now need is where you move into the sales realm. But if you give somebody, give a lead to a salesperson that only has interest but no need, all they're going to do is waste their time. And so that is the counterfeit. You've all been through that if you've been in sales. Someone gets all excited but they never buy anything. Well, that's someone who has interest, no need. Now, the way you bridge that is you turn interest into need with education. And that is really the model we're talking about. The types of interest, in we nickname it tire kickers or buying signals. Now, this is based on different kinds of offers. And we have found that industry-related information like research, white papers, webinars, even today webinar is an interest-based model, not a need-based one. Those are top-of-funnel, toll-free phone numbers on the website, downloading pricing requests, proposals, free trials, anything product-related, notice that, is really more buying signal. And that's bottom of the funnel. You need both, but you've got to understand strategically what it is you're doing. Well, these same rules can apply to calling. Steve and I were having a wonderful conversation earlier about, you could build a calling campaign that's pure awareness-based. You could do it middle of funnel. You could do buying signal only. Now, your numbers are going to be much, much lower, but your quality of leads are going to be much higher if you go for a buying signal campaign. Well, you got to know what you're doing and why so that you can apply the right approach to the situation that you're in. Now, once you've got to need, that's when the lead goes to the salespeople. And then they start nurturing the deal, and the thing they're trying to cause is action. Action is based on commitment. So now you're past education. Now it's based on commitment. And once they have acted and closed the sale, then you start moving into client nurturing, and that's based purely on engagement, meaning how engaged are they with using the solution or the service or the product that you've given them. This model is very, very powerful, and we highly recommend you analyze who you're talking to and what level of the strategy that they need to be addressed with, and then progress them. That's how it works. So I want to talk about now the 7 contact ratio strategies. This is foundational. This is really where this is sort of our calling card. And again, what we do at InsideSales.com is we offer technology based on research, based on best practices to help inside sales departments dramatically improve their results. And this is the secret sauce we're going to share with you right now. We shared it with our good partners at Marketo, and the first day they said, "What in the world did you guys do? Everyone's answering our calls." Well, I'm going to show you what we did. 7 basic rules. The first one Steve already mentioned is do everything fast. We call it immediacy. If someone gives you a business card at a trade show, call them back that night. Send them an email that night. Set the appointment quickly. Don't wait to get home a week later. If you're making, now this isn't quite as applicable to outbound cold calling, but it definitely is to responding to any leads that come your way. It's absolutely critical that you do it within 5 minutes, not 39 hours, which is the industry average. Now, the next thing is extremely applicable to outbound cold calling, and that's what we call persistency. Make more calls and make them fast. Combine them. Our underlying technology is the power dialer. Trish Bertuzzi tells us that the average inside sales rep makes about 50 to 54 calls a day. Well, some of our people have made 350 calls a day. And again, they're purely specialists teeing up and responding to leads. But make more calls. Sales is always about a numbers game. But specifically, make more calls to the individual you're trying to reach. If you're responding to a lead, as this slide shows, you'd make 9 calls. If you're calling on a list, you make 6 calls, which I already showed you earlier. But be more persistent. Be pleasantly persistent. But think about it. If the average contact rate is only 10%, you need to make a lot of calls to make sure you reach that person. Okay, time of day. This research is foundational, came from the original research we did back in 2007. It was done again with Harvard Business Review in 2011, validated it one more time. The best times to call to make contact is in the mornings and in the afternoons and evenings.